This video is about pie chart, which comes under the heading of statistics. And let's start with the basic definition of pie charts first. Pie chart is a type of a graph only in which a circle is divided into sectors that each represent a portion of the whole. Divided into sectors. So when we say sectors, that means we have to calculate the angles for all these sectors. That means it's about calculating the angles as well. Generally speaking, we can expect two different types of questions in pie chart. One type of question would be when we say pie charts. The two types of question would be one would be about uh, drawing the pie charts, and second will not be about drawing the pie chart. It would be about interpretation or interpreting different values. Interpreting different values, different portion, proportion, that would be the correct term. Different portions. Okay, so let's start with one example. In case of this example, we have been given with a drawn pie chart with their respective angles. And we are supposed to calculate the values representing each sector here. We have been given with the angles representing each sector, but we have to calculate the values, the actual portion of the values represented by each sector. Looking at this question, it's about pie chart illustrates the values of various goods sold by a certain shop. If the total value of the sales, this is the total value of the sales given to us, find the value of toys, grass seed, records, food. So in a way, we have been given with the total portion or the total thing, which is $24,000 of sales, and we have to find the sales of all these separate segments, all these separate sectors. So let's start with solving it, and to solve the questions based on pie charts, the very easy method to apply is the method called as the unitary method. And for unitary method, it's all about two different quantities. And out of the two different quantities, you'd be dealing with 4. And out of 4, any 3 would be given to you, and one of the quantities would be unknown. So we'd use the same unitary method here. For us, the two different quantities here in case of this particular question, it is the total sales and the angles representing the sales. The two different quantities here to be used would be, we are dealing with sales and their respective angles. Okay, and obviously there should be 3 values given and one of the values would be unknown. All right, just to make the things look simple, these first set of values would always be representing the total. Now for total sales, it's given in the question, and for total angles, you should be knowing what is the total sum of a circle, or what is the total angle of a circle? That is 360 degrees. So 360 degree, it's a must thing to be used for the first set of values in unitary method. And for the second set of values, it would be the particular sectors. So sector sales and sector angles. Okay. Let's have a look for the part A first. It's about twice. Now for twice, we'll do the same thing, the sales and their respective angles. Sales for twice is something what we need to find. And the total sales, it's 24,000. Total angle, that's 360. So we have got the totals here. Second set of values would be related to the sector. Now, for sales of toys, this is something what we need to find. So we'll keep this as X. And angle for toys, that's given in the question, which is 45. And based on unitary method, to make the equation, we'll cross multiply it. Now the equation formed is 360 x is equals to 45 into 24,000. And then x would be equals to 45 into 24,000 upon 360. We can use the calculator here to find the value of angle x here. And the value would be 45 into 24,000 divided by 360. We are getting this as 3,000. So that means we can say that the toys had a sale of 3,000. Moving onward, part B says grass seed. For grass seed, again, we'll apply the same unitary method, sales and the angles. Total sales and the total angle, total sales is 24,000. So the first row of values would remain as it is. And for second row value, it's about the sector. So here, the sector's sale, which is the grass seed sale, is something what we need to find. We'll keep this as Y. In grass seed, angle is 60. So equation made would be 360. Y is equals to 60 into 24,000. Y would be equals to 60 into 24,000 upon 360. So that would give us Y as 60 into 24,000 divided by 360. We are getting this as 4,000. So $4,000 is the sales obtained by the grass seed. Next we have is for the records. We'll do the same thing here. Sales against their respective angle. Total sales, it was 24,000. Total angle, it was 360. And now the sector's value. So sector sale is what we need to find, which is the record sale, and sector angle is 90. So Z comes here, 90 comes here. And we'll do the cross multiplication here to make the equation. It would be 360 Z is equals to 90 into 24,000. Finally, Z would be equals to 90 into 24,000 divided by 360. Z, which is representing the sales of records, it would be 90 times 24,000 divided by 360. We are getting this as 6,000. The records had a sale of 6,000. Moving onwards, it's about the food. We have to calculate the sales value for the food, the part. We have sales here, we have angle here. Total sales is 24,000. Total angle is 360. And food sales, the sector sales is to be found, so we are keeping it as W. And for angle, now food angle is not given to us, but we, out of this whole pie, out of this whole circle, we already know three angles. So knowing these three angles, we can easily find the fourth angle. How? You simply subtract these three angles from 360 degree to find the fourth angle. So 360 minus 45 minus 60 minus 90 would give us the angle of this food sector. So 360 minus 45 minus 60 minus 90. We are getting this as 165. Okay, so 165 degrees is the angle representing the sector food. So equation made would be 360 W is equals to 165 into 24,000. So W would be equals to 165 into 24,000 divided by 360. W is equals to 165 multiplied by 24,000 divided by 360. We are getting this as 11,000. So this is how we calculate the values of each sector when the angles are given. And as I said earlier, we can expect two types of questions. Another type of question where we could be asked to draw the pie chart. So we'll pick one more question related to drawing the pie charts. Let me find a question. Okay, so this completes, this is a question, complete question. Now, in case of this particular question, the question says, a gym has 4 different types of machine. Carol is going to draw a pie chart to show how many times the machine are used in one day. She start to make a table. So we have these values as uh, frequency for running is 90, angle of the sector is 120, and so are the different values given here. So what we're going to do is we can first find the total frequency here, because weights, to find weights, we should be knowing what is the total frequency here. So what we can do here is, to find the total frequency, we'll use the unitary method here. And for unitary method, we have the two values as frequency and the angle. In fact, there's no need to find the total frequency. We can directly find the frequency of weights. And how we'll do that? No, wait. We have to find the total frequency. So finding the total frequency, it would be frequency representing one values, angles representing the second value. Now, total frequency is something what we don't know, so we'll keep this as x. Total angle is 360. And then for running, we can use this running segment here for the sector, because we know the complete value here. Without knowing the complete value of a sector, we cannot find the total frequency. So the sector representing running, it's having the frequency as 90 and angle as 120. We'll do the cross multiplication here to find the total frequency. So 120x is equal to 90 into 360, and x is equal to 90 into 360 divided by 120. We can calculate this as 90 into 360 divided by 120. We're getting this as 270. So that means 270 is the total frequency for us. 270. 270 is the total frequency. Okay. So with the total frequency known, now we can find the frequency of the weights. So for finding frequency of the weights, we can make the equation as frequency and angles again. Frequency and angles. Frequency, now we know the total frequency, which is 270. Total angle is 360. Weights frequency is something what we need to find, and weights angle is 64. So x would be equals to 64 into 270 divided by 360. We are getting the x here as 64 into 270 divided by 360, 48. The frequency of weights is 48. There could have been another way of finding the frequency of the weight, and that is, we could have added 90, 75, and 57, the 3 different frequencies, and subtracting from 270 would have also given us the weight frequency as 48. Now finding the angles of each sector. So let's work it out for rowing first. We'll keep the first row value same, which is representing the total. So frequency and angles. Total frequency, we found this as 270. Total angle is 360. Frequency of rowing is given as 75. And angle is something what we need to find. So we do the cross multiplication thing and we'll work it out. So 270 y is equal to 75 into 360. So y is equal to 75 into 360 upon 270. Y would be equals to 75 into 360 divided by 270. That's 100. The rowing frequency, the rowing angle is 100 degrees. Now with the rowing angle found, we have this only one angle unknown, which is the cycling. So we can easily subtract the three known angles from 360 to find cycling. So for cycling, things are simple now. To find the cycling angle, it would be 360 minus the three angles we know, which is 120, 100, and 64. 120, 100, and 64. Subtracting this, we'll get 360 minus 120 minus 100 minus 64. We're getting this as 76. So 76 degrees is the angle here. So we are done with the first part, which is about completing the table. Second part is complete the pie chart. Complete the pie chart means it's related to construction. So here we have to complete the pie chart by drawing the two missing sectors. What are the two missing sectors here? We already have the sectors for weights and running, and we are missing it for rowing and cycling. That means it's 100 degrees and 76 degrees to be found. So to draw it, what you can simply do is you can take any one of the two sectors as the reference. I mean, you can take either this side as the reference, or you can take this side as the reference. Choice is yours. Whatever side you are taking as the reference, you have to make sure that you're keeping the protector there. Let's say I'm taking the running side as the reference. What you do is you'd place your compass here at this center, making sure that it fits properly, somewhat like this, and keeping the sector, keeping the compass here. Yeah, this would somewhat compass would look like. Keeping the compass here, you have to measure the 100 degrees. 100 degrees would come out to be somewhere. Yeah, this measures 100 degrees. And 100 degrees was the rowing segment. Okay. Obviously, the other sector formed would be representing the cycling. This is 76 degrees, and this is representing the cycling. So this is how you construct the pie chart. You complete the pie chart with the help of a protractor. Knowing the angles, you can always construct the pie charts. So this completes the question here only.